I watched the footage 17 times before I called the police. 17 times. Each time I told myself I was seeing it wrong, that the angle was bad, that the timestamp was glitched, that there had to be another explanation. But on the 18th time, I stopped lying to myself. I'm 32 years old. I've been a nanny for 9 years. I've worked in 12 different homes. I've changed diapers, packed lunches, sang lullabies in 4 languages. I thought I'd seen every kind of family there was. I was wrong. 3 months ago, I started working for a family in Connecticut. I'm not going to use their real names. For legal reasons, let's just call them the parents and the boy. Beautiful house, beautiful child, beautiful lie. And the thing that destroyed it all wasn't what I saw them do. It was what I saw myself do. This is the story of how a hidden camera meant to watch me ended up exposing something none of us were ready for. The job posting was perfect. Too perfect, maybe. Seeking experienced nanny for 4-year-old boy. Private room, competitive salary, light housekeeping. Family values kindness and discretion. That last word should have been a red flag, but I needed the work. I just left my previous position. The mother there had accused me of letting her daughter watch too much TV. It wasn't true, but when you're the hired help, the truth doesn't always matter. You just leave quietly and hope the reference letter is decent. So when they offered me the job after one interview, I said yes immediately. The mother was a lawyer, corporate litigation, the kind of woman who wore heels at home and answered emails during breakfast. Her husband worked in finance. He traveled a lot: Hong Kong, London, Dubai. The kind of job that sounds impressive until you realize it means he's never actually there. And then there was the boy, 4 years old, blonde curls, big gray eyes, quiet. Too quiet for a 4-year-old, honestly. He didn't run or scream or ask a million questions like most kids that age. He just watched, observed, like he was trying to figure out the rules of a game no one had explained to him. I loved him immediately. The mother told me about the cameras on my second day. We were in the kitchen. She was making coffee, the expensive kind, from a machine that cost more than my car. She said it casually, like she was mentioning the Wi-Fi password. "Oh, just so you know, we have a few cameras around the house, for security. One in the living room, one in the playroom, one in the kitchen. Nothing in the bedrooms and bathrooms, of course. We're not monsters." She laughed when she said that. I laughed too. I told her it was fine, that I understood, that a lot of families did it now. And I meant it. I had nothing to hide. At least, that's what I thought. The first few weeks were easy. I'd arrive at 7, the mother would already be dressed, scrolling through her phone, double-shot espresso in hand. She'd give me a quick rundown, the boy's mood, what he ate for breakfast, if he slept well, and then she'd leave. The father was almost never there. It was just me and the boy. And honestly, those were good days. We had a routine: breakfast, playtime, a walk to the park if the weather was nice, lunch, nap time, more play. Sometimes we'd bake cookies or build elaborate block towers that he'd knock down with this little smile, like destruction was the whole point. I started to feel comfortable. I forgot about the cameras most of the time. They were just little black domes on the ceiling, easy to ignore once you got used to them. But the boy noticed them. One afternoon, he pointed at the one in the playroom and asked, "Why is that there?" I said, "It's so your mom and dad can see you're safe, even when they're not home." He stared at it for a long time. Then he whispered, "Does it see everything?" I didn't know how to answer that, so I just said, "Pretty much, buddy." He didn't ask again, but I started noticing he'd avoid certain parts of the room. He wouldn't play near the camera. He'd built his towers in the corners where the angle didn't quite reach. I thought it was a phase. I didn't think it meant anything. Things started changing around week 5. The mother began working from home more often. She'd set up her laptop in the dining room and take calls with the door half open. I could hear her sometimes. Sharp, clipped sentences, the kind of voice that made people agree with her just to make it stop. The father came home for a week. He was polite, distant, the kind of guy who shakes your hand but doesn't really see you. But something felt off between them. They didn't fight. That would have been normal. They just didn't talk. They moved around each other like roommates who'd signed a lease they regretted. One night, I was putting the boy to bed. The mother was standing in the hallway watching. I didn't notice her at first. When I turned around, she was just there. She said, "You're really good with him." I thanked her. She didn't smile. She said, "Better than I am." I didn't know what to say to that. She walked away before I could figure it out. The next morning, the father pulled me aside. He asked if the boy had mentioned anything unusual, if he seemed scared, if he'd said anything about nightmares. I said no, because it was true. He hadn't said anything. But he also hadn't been sleeping well. I could tell. The circles under his eyes, the way he clung to his stuffed rabbit like it was the only thing keeping him tethered to the world. The father nodded, said, "Good. Just keep an eye on him, okay?" I said I would. But what I didn't say was, "I think someone should be keeping an eye on you." It happened on a Tuesday. The mother had a last-minute court appearance. The father was in Singapore. It was just me and the boy. We were playing hide-and-seek, his favorite game. He hid in the hall closet, the one under the stairs, full of winter coats and old tennis rackets. I pretended I couldn't find him, even though I could hear him giggling. When I opened the door, he wasn't alone. There was a box, cardboard, unmarked, shoved way in the back, under a pile of scarves. The boy was holding something from it, a photograph. I asked him what it was. He handed it to me without a word. It was a picture of a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old, blonde hair, gray eyes. She looked exactly like him. I turned the photo over. On the back, in faded blue ink, Summer 2019. I felt something cold settle in my stomach. I asked the boy, "Who is this?" He said, "I don't know. I found the box last week." I asked if he'd shown his mom. He shook his head, said she doesn't like it when I go in the closet. I told him to go play in the living room. He left without arguing. I opened the box. Inside, more photos. A stuffed bear, a hospital bracelet, a death certificate. Born March 2012, died August 2019. Cause of death, accidental drowning. They'd had a daughter, and they'd never mentioned her. I couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, I went home and searched every possible combination of keywords. Drowning cases in Connecticut, 2019, child deaths. I found one article, local news, 3 paragraphs. A tragic accident claimed the life of a 7-year-old girl in Westport on Friday. The child drowned in the family pool while under supervision. Authorities have ruled the death accidental. The family has requested privacy. Under supervision. That meant someone was there. Someone was supposed to be watching. I thought about the cameras, the way the mother had said, "We're not monsters." I thought about the boy, born in 2020, a year after his sister died, a replacement child. I shouldn't have kept digging. I should have left it alone. But I didn't. The next day, I asked the mother about the closet. I said the boy had been playing in there and I wanted to make sure it was safe. No cleaning supplies, nothing sharp. Her face went blank. She said, "He knows he's not supposed to go in there." I said, "He's 4. Kids explore." She said, "Not that closet." And that was the end of the conversation. That night, I watched the boy a little closer. The way he avoided certain spaces. The way he whispered to himself when he thought I wasn't listening. Once, I heard him say, "It's okay, I won't tell." I asked who he was talking to. He said no one, but he was looking at the camera. I wasn't supposed to have access to the camera system, but the father had left his laptop open one morning. I saw the app icon. I knew I shouldn't. I knew it was a violation. I knew I could lose my job. I clicked it anyway. The footage was organized by date and camera. I scrolled back. Weeks, months, and then I saw it. August 8th, 2019, the day before the girl died. I clicked. The playroom. Daytime. A woman on screen. Younger than me. Maybe 25. Brown hair. Nervous energy. A nanny. The girl was there. Playing. Laughing. The nanny was on her phone. Texting. Not watching. The girl ran out of frame. 30 seconds passed. The nanny looked up, panicked, ran after her. The timestamp continued. No one came back. I fast-forwarded. 2 hours later, paramedics. The mother screaming. The father silent. The nanny in the corner sobbing. The next file was labeled Statement, Police. I opened it. The nanny's voice. I only looked away for a second, I swear. She was right there. I thought she was safe. The mother's voice. You were supposed to be watching her. The case was closed. Accidental drowning. No charges. The nanny disappeared from the files after that. I wondered where she was now. I wondered if she still saw that little girl's face when she closed her eyes. I wondered if the mother saw her. And then I realized something. I clicked on the live feed. Me in the playroom. Earlier that day. The boy building blocks. Me scrolling on my phone. The boy walking towards the stairs. Me not noticing for 15 seconds. I felt sick. I confronted the mother the next morning. I told her I knew about the daughter. I told her I'd seen the footage. She didn't yell, she didn't cry. She just said, "So now you understand." I said, "Understand what?" She said, "Why the cameras matter, why I need to know, why I can't ever look away again." I said, "You're watching me to make sure I don't make the same mistake she did." The mother said no. She pulled out her phone, opened the camera app, showed me. Footage of me from the past 3 months. Me checking my phone, me distracted, me not watching the boy for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. She said, "I'm watching you to make sure you don't make the same mistake I did." I didn't understand. She said, "I was home that day, working upstairs. I saw the alert. My daughter left the playroom. I ignored it. I had a call in 5 minutes. I thought the nanny had it handled." Her voice cracked. By the time I got downstairs, it was too late. I stared at her. She said, "The cameras don't stop it from happening. They just make sure I see it happen. They make sure I can't pretend I didn't know." I asked, "What about the nanny?" She said, "I paid her to leave, to stay quiet, to let me take the blame in private." I said, "But you didn't. You blamed her." She said, "I blamed everyone, including myself." And then she said, "I hired you because you reminded me of her. I thought if I watched you closely enough, I could keep it from happening again." I felt like I was drowning. I quit the next day. I told the mother I couldn't work in a house where I was being tested, where every mistake was measured against a dead child. She didn't argue. She just nodded. She said, "I understand." As I was leaving, the boy ran up to me. He handed me a drawing. It was a picture of the 3 of us, me, him, and a little girl. He said, "That's my sister. She told me to give this to you." I asked when he talked to her. He said, "At night. She says it's not your fault. She says it's not anyone's fault." I didn't know what to say. I hugged him. I told him to be good. I left. I never went back. I still think about that house. I think about the little girl, about the nanny whose name I never learned, about the mother watching those cameras every single day, hoping to catch a tragedy before it happens. I think about the boy growing up in a museum built for a ghost. And I think about the footage, the 17 times I watched myself not watching, the 18th time I admitted what I saw. Here's the thing about hidden cameras. They don't just record what happens, they record what doesn't happen. Every near miss, every almost accident, every second you got lucky. The mother wasn't watching me because she didn't trust me. She was watching because she knew the truth. We're all one distraction away from disaster, and no amount of surveillance can change that. I deleted the app from the father's laptop before I left. I don't know if she noticed. I don't know if she cares. But sometimes, late at night, I still wonder, if I'd stayed, would I have been the one watching when something went wrong? Or would I have been the one looking away?